Hi, it's Jeff Cable, and I want to talk to you for a second about ISO. A lot of people write to me and they ask, what ISO should I be at for this particular shot? Well, not being in the same environment as you are, it's hard for me to tell you. But here's some general rules of thumb that you can go by. If you're shooting outdoors and you have a lot of ambient light, you probably want to have your ISO really low, like ISO 100 or ISO 160. Or if you're indoors and you have very little light, you probably want to boost your ISO to 1600 or 3200. Basically, what you want to watch is your shutter speed. If you're indoors and you're trying to shoot at ISO 400 and your shutter speed is 1/5 of a second, well, you're not going to get a very good image. So what you want to do is crank up your ISO to get a shutter speed of maybe 1/100 of a second. Inversely, if you're outdoors, you don't want to be shooting at ISO 1600 outdoors if you have tons of light, because your shutter speed is going to be at like 8,000th of a second. Now, why not just shoot at a high ISO all the time? Because you're giving up quality. The lower your ISO, the higher the quality of your image. I try to shoot at the lowest ISO I can to get the best quality photo from my client or for myself. One piece of information that a lot of people don't know is that on Canon, the best ISO is not 100. The best ISO is actually 160. So when I'm shooting outdoors, I generally keep my camera at ISO 160, again, as long as I have enough light to work with my images and get the shutter speed I need. So just to recap, your proper ISO really depends on the environment you're shooting in. If you're outdoors, you probably want to be at a low ISO, something around 100. If you're indoors, you probably want to have a higher ISO, somewhere between maybe 800, 1600, or 3200. The key is to watch your shutter speed. Make sure that your shutter speed is fast enough to capture what you're trying to shoot. Typically, with high ISOs, you're going to get more digital noise and slightly less quality. With a lower ISO, you'll get very high quality. With Canon, the best ISO is 160. I hope this helps, and I hope it makes your photography just that much better.